Hi guys, so here I'm Rory here, co-founder of Sublime Trading, here with your daily update for the UK and US indices for Friday the 15th of May. So yesterday was a very good example of why you always want to wait for the end of day candlestick before making any decisions. So starting with the Ftse 100, we saw weakness on price yesterday. Price at one point was trading below the 50 simple moving average. The bulls came in, pushed price back up, closed above the 50 simple moving average. And so far today we're seeing bullishness. Overall, the Ftse 100 still very much in a range, and we want to be standing aside until we get a clear direction in the market. Moving over to the US indices, all three indices were bearish at one point, and then the bulls came in and pushed price up and closed 3% bullish yesterday. All of them found an area of support at moving averages, predominantly where the bulls came in later on in the day and pushed price up. I've mentioned repeatedly in previous recordings that you always want to wait for the end of day candlestick. It always gives you the most information, as often the institutional money comes in towards the end of the day, so we get a much clearer idea of what the candlestick ends like, and then potentially what we could see through the next day and through the rest of the week. So yesterday closed bullish. Overall though, still trading inside a range, price inside areas of support and resistance. What we're waiting for is a breakout. So let's see how today ends. Let's get into the charts, have a catch up with what happened yesterday and potentially what we could see through the end of today and how today could end, and then potentially what we could see through to next week. So guys, if you're new to these daily updates, then I recommend starting with the recording that's pinned to the top of our Facebook page, so you get an idea of what I go through in this 3-screen chart setup. Okay, so starting with the Ftse 100, as always, this is our 3-screen setup as mentioned, monthly in the top left, weekly in the top right, and our daily chart down here across the bottom. Starting with the monthly on the Ftse 100, we can see that the month of May is very much inside the range of the month of April and still finding resistance at that 6,000 round number. May looking bearish so far. On the weekly, price is below the 200 moving average and the 50 simple moving average. Price currently in this pullback. If you look at this week's price action, it's a bearish week. Last week was a bullish week. So what we now want to see price confirm is a direction in the market. So if it breaks through the 6,000 round number and the high of April, then we're likely to see strength. If we start seeing support levels broken, then of course we'll likely see weakness towards the low of March. We can see more detail on the daily. Price is below the 200 moving average, but we can see current price action trading between the 20 simple moving average as resistance and the 50 simple moving average as support. Overall, really just inside this area of consolidation, standing aside until we get a breakout. Moving across to the US market, starting with the Dow Jones, you can see that the month of May was bearish, came towards the low of last year, which was an area of support. So we've had the bulls come in and start pushing price back up. Now on the weekly, we can see price still trading around the 200 moving average. If you look at this week's price action, again, bearish looking week. Bulls have come in and started pushing price back up. So it'll be interesting to see whether price closes above the 200 moving average or below it by the end of play today. On the daily time frame, price is below the 200 moving average, but we can look at current price action. We can see it's trading below the 20 simple moving average as resistance and above the 50 simple moving average as support. So you can see how the moving average is acting as an area of support. Overall though, again, we can see prices inside this area of consolidation. We want to see resistance levels broken to the upside to suggest strength, or support levels to suggest weakness. Moving across to the S&P 500, similar sort of setup. We can see that the month of May, very little in terms of price action. If you look at the month of April, bullish looking month. May, quiet month so far. On the weekly time frame, price is below the 50 simple moving average and the 3,000 round number, but above the 200 moving average. Again, this week's price action looking bearish. On the daily time frame, price is below the 200 moving average, but current price action is trading between the 20 and the 50 simple moving averages. Overall, we can see price still inside this area of consolidation. So similar setup to the Dow Jones, we want to see a breakout. If we move to the Nasdaq on the monthly, very much leading the way. Price is trading above the high of last year, which is acting as support. We can see that the month of May is looking bullish. On the weekly time frame, prices above the 200 moving average and the 50 simple moving average. Friday's candlestick looking like an indecision candle so far. On the daily time frame, price above the 200 moving average, the 50 moving average, and the 20 simple moving average. We can see this current pullback has come to the 20 simple moving average. We had a bounce off it yesterday. Price closed above the 9,000 round number. So what we now want to see is whether we're going to see strength back to the upside. Break and close above this high will suggest a continuation towards the all-time high, or if the 20 simple moving average is broken, then the next area of support is this area here, which is the 200 moving average and the 50 simple moving average acting as a support zone. Overall, though, from this point here, the market is looking bullish, and these pullbacks are part and parcel of trend structure. So a breakout will suggest strength to the upside. Moving to the S&P 500 mini, so we get an idea of pre-market action. May looking quiet so far in relation to April, but remember, we're still only halfway through the month of May. This could look very different by the end of the month. On the weekly time frame, price is below the 50 simple moving average, but above the 200 simple moving average, a bearish looking week. And on the daily time frame, not much change. Price inside this area of consolidation below the 200 moving average, but in between the 20 and the 50 simple moving averages. Bearish looking day so far today, but again, remember, it's always the end of day candlestick that gives us the most information. But very clearly for now, we want to see price break out of this area of consolidation, either break through resistance levels to the upside or through support levels to the downside. A break and a close below the low of March will suggest a continuation of the bear trend, but a break and a close above the 200 moving average and that 3,000 round number will be significant in terms of strength back to the all-time high. So patience very much needed for now as we wait for the indices to dictate a clear direction in the market. Okay guys, that's me for today, and that's me for this week. Please like, comment and share. Let's get these recordings out there. Let's get people understanding how to use the indices correctly to build a solid investment portfolio. And I will be back on Monday. Have a lovely weekend.